Hi, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new, welcome. If you've been with us, welcome back. Today, we're going to talk about something that I find difficult, or at least a challenge, and I believe a lot of us also find the same thing challenging as well, and that's how to stay motivated when we have tasks to do. If you've ever found yourself staring at a never-ending to-do list of so many things to do, and you have to get started on that big project you're working on, and you just don't know where to start. Trust me, you're not alone. Now, today I'm going to be giving you guys some fun tips that I use to stay motivated and make sure I get all my tasks done, and I'm sure it'll be helpful for you. So let's go. Tip number one is gamify your tasks. Now, I know you remember how much fun you had playing games when you were a kid. Maybe not even as a kid, you still play games till now. So we're going to be arranging our tasks into game-like structures. We're going to create a point system. We're going to set challenges and we're going to reward ourselves, right, if we end up completing our tasks. And that's kind of what I like to do. For example, I like to take walks after a long day of work if I'm working from home. And that's what the montage at the beginning was all about. That was me taking a break, right, and going for a walk and just clearing my head. Usually I have my AirPods on and I listen to an audiobook. I didn't have my AirPods on in that one, but that's the idea, right? So I just go out, free my mind, get away from work. And to me, that's a reward because I really enjoy going for walks. But you could try other strategies. I like to also have a habit tracker where I track my habits or track things that I want to do every day, and then it keeps a streak for me. So every day I get to tick something off. So for example, reading, or right now I listen to audiobooks because I don't really have the time to read paperback, but if I'm driving or going for a walk like I mentioned earlier, I just listen to my audiobook. But the streak keeps me motivated and that keeps me coming back, and it's great for me. Tip number two is break your tasks into bite-sized chunks. Large tasks can be overwhelming and that's a big motivation killer. Instead, break them down into smaller bits and just try to cross them off bit by bit. It's like eating a giant cake all at once. You'd rather take little slices here and there until everything is finished. But then again, you shouldn't be eating a giant cake. It's not good for you. But then you'd feel a sense of accomplishment with each slice, and bit by bit you get to the whole thing. An example for me would be how I try to manage this YouTube channel now. So a YouTube video is one task. It's like a project actually. So it involves thinking of the idea and how I want to go about it, and then I have to script the idea, and then I have to set up all the lights and everything and set up the environment for shooting, and then I have to shoot the video, and then I have to edit. I've actually outsourced my editing to Toyin. Toyin, come and say hi. Hi. No, go around. Toyin can't come. Toyin says his hair is not good, so he's not going to come. But anyway, Toyin edits my videos, and if you've liked the edits so far, he's the one that's doing it, and he's doing a better job than I probably could. But yeah, editing and then posting, I do the posting. So all of that comes together into one YouTube video. Now I could look at a video as a whole project, or I could break it down into bite-sized pieces like I just did, and it's easier to cross one thing off at a time rather than thinking of everything I have to do. For the next tip, number three, I use the Pomodoro technique. I don't know how many of you have heard of the Pomodoro technique, but it's about breaking your long work hours into tiny bits of work sections, and then you take a short break after. Usually it's around 25 minutes and then a 5-minute break. So 4 of that turns into 2 hours with a 20-minute break in between, and then after 4 Pomodoro rounds, you can take a longer break. Studies have shown that if you work for a bit and then take a break, you're more excited to come back to work. I'll probably talk about this technique more in another video because there's something I learned in, I think it was a book I read about how to really make proper use of this. So I'll talk about it later. Pomodoro actually translates to tomato in English. Is an Italian word. I use an app that gives me a tomato each time I complete a 25-minute session, and I think it's just great. It gamifies the whole thing, like the first tip, and then I also use my watch to track it so I don't have to be using my phone all the time. I talked about how I managed that in this video. You could watch that video, my last video. Number 4, this tip is something I love. Now, incorporating music into your work. I like to do this all the time. I feel like you could use music to control your emotions and your mood and your state. So for me, I like to listen to different types of music depending on the kind of task I'm doing at that time. The right soundtrack can turn any mundane task into an enjoyable vibe as long as you have the right music, right, and you're having fun. We're trying to have fun during our tasks and being productive. It doesn't have to be a negative vibe, right? I use different types of music depending on the particular task that I'm trying to do. So if it's something with a lot of brain work, I use lo-fi hip-hop music with no lyrics, so just the instrumentals to make sure I don't get distracted. If it's a routine task that doesn't require a lot of brain power, I listen to normal music, Burna Boy. And then that gets me going. Then if I'm sleepy or maybe I'm working late at night and I'm just trying to remain active, I play more gingered active music like Rema's new album, crazy stuff. The fifth tip is setting up a reward system. Motivation often comes with having something to look forward to. Now, I learned this from Atomic Habits, the book by James Clear. He talks about habit stacking and rewarding, not necessarily rewarding yourself, but putting something that you're looking forward to behind a task that you'd rather not do. So, for example, after I script a video or I do some work, then I could watch a movie. Or I could eat a cookie. I like Fox's cookies, the dark chocolate one. It was my cousin Sofri that put me onto that. Shout out Sofri. But yeah, you could reward yourself with something. Like, I also like to go on walks, like I mentioned earlier. That's a reward for me, and that's something that I look forward to. So I'm doing all the work that I can to ensure that I have enough time and peace of mind to go for my walk and clear my head. Tip number 6 is connecting with an accountability partner. Now, things are usually easier when you have someone to share with and the burden doesn't seem like you're taking it up all on your own. You could find a friend or colleague who's also working on their own project, or it could be a similar project, or it could be the same project. For me, I did this with working out and going to the gym with Brian. And he actually started before me, and I saw that he was consistent, and I told him, yo, you know what, I'm going to join you and we could be accountable to each other and just make sure we go. So we used to go every day by 7, 8. Brian, help me please, put it in the comments. But we used to go every day, and now I don't go anymore. I'm sorry, Brian. Yeah, so there you have it. Some fun, effective ways to stay motivated. Now remember that motivation is a journey, and you could try different strategies. If one doesn't work out, try something else. I've tried different things, some stick, some don't stick. You move on to the next one, but just make sure that you're having fun while you're doing it, right? If you enjoyed these tips, make sure you hit the like button and make sure you share it with someone that you think will find it useful. And be sure to subscribe, because I have an interesting video coming next and you don't want to miss that one. You could drop a comment in the comment section on how you stay productive and your favorite way to stay motivated. Now, if you want to know how I moved from a mechanical engineering degree to a commercial role, that video is up here. And in this video, I talked about how I relate with social media and how you should also think about your social media use. But that's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.